Hello everyone, hope you all are doing good. Today I'm going to explain about UI policies. Okay, in the scripting part, UI policies we are going to cover today, today's session. Okay, so let's see our agenda. Okay, our agenda is like control plus plus. Okay, agenda. So our agenda is what is UI policy? Okay, so it's like what a UI policy. Okay, what is a UI policy and when to use UI policy, UIP or something. Okay, so how to write. Okay, how to write, how to test it, and how to debug it. Okay, how to debug the UI policy. So all these things. Okay, and compare with the client-side scripting. Okay, client-side scripting versus UI policy. Okay, so comparing with client-side scripts and UI policy. So let's see, and also with the demo. Okay, with the demo. So let's see. What is a UI policy and why we use UI policy, all these things. Okay, so now what is UI policy? UI policy is nothing but this defines the behavior. Okay, behavior and visibility of fields on a form, like it can do mandatory to make a field mandatory. Okay, and to make a field visible, to make a field read only. Okay, so we use UI policies. Okay, so there should be some condition. Okay, must be true. So for it to execute. Okay, so executes. So UI policies always executes. Okay, exe executes after the client script. Okay, so this is very important. So UI policy execute after the client script. So we will see the demo also. Okay, we will see a demo on this one also. Okay, so for example, if I go to any form, okay, any incident form or something like that. Okay, incident. Okay, go to incident and open any incident forms. Okay. So this is, this is a baseline of incident form. So now we have to make like, for example, it's like configuration item should be mandatory. Okay. And service offering should be hidden. Okay. So something like we have to do. Okay. So to make a configuration item field mandatory, okay, and to hide a service offering field, okay. So these we use clients, we use UI policies. The client scripts are also can also hide fields, can also make a field mandatory. Okay, but the thing is, if you can always use a UI policies instead of a client script, okay, for faster load time and easier maintenance. Okay, why we use UI policies? Okay, so see, to do all these things, okay, mandatory, visible. Okay, so we can do with the client side script also, but we will write instead of client side script, so we will use UI policy. Okay, UI policy. We use UI policies. Okay, because why we use UI policies? Because faster load times. Okay, and easier maintenance. Um, maintenance. Okay, so that's why we use a UI policy, and also the UI policies are built, okay, for that purpose only, to make a field mandatory, visible, and read only. Okay, so UI policy do not run unless the condition is met. Okay, in some cases, UI policies don't have a condition. These UI policies execute every time a form loads and or is changed. Okay, so let's see, and also you can use some scripting. Okay, you can also use scripting in the UI policies. Scripting in the UI policies, like it's like to ability to script complex conditions and execute advanced behavior like show or hide tabs. Okay, remove or add, change, validate data in the fields. Okay, uses the full power of JavaScript. Here, policy script execute client side only. Okay, the scripting in the UI policy is a client side scripting. Okay, scripting is a client-side scripting. So for example, we will see a demo. Okay, we will see a demo in few minutes. Okay, in few minutes, how we want to write an UI policy or something like that. Okay, so let's configure how to go to UI policies is like configure UI policies. Okay, so it will open the UI policies. So these are the out of the box UI policies. And also you can go to UI policies, UI policies. So one it is you can go and configure from the table. Okay, and the other one it is you can go directly UI policies, so where you can see all the UI policies, everything. Okay, so let's try to create a UI policy on incident form. Let's explore the UI policy fields now. Okay. Or maybe we'll open one existing UI policy and let's see the behavior, what it does. Okay, field says to mandatory for all states. Okay, so let's open this UI policy. This is a high priority file type and it's altered. Okay, so okay, that's some information. Okay. So you see here, mm, you see here, you are seeing incident field sets to mandatory for all states. Okay, so there is no condition here. Okay, so it says like caller ID is true and the short description is mandatory true. So maybe if I open any incident, okay, if I open incident, so all incidents. So if I click on new, okay, also like caller and short description are getting field mandatory whenever the state changes, like whatever the state changes, because it's defined. Okay, where is the this? Okay, so this condition runs whenever the form loads. Okay, whenever the form loads, it runs. Okay, so there is no condition, so it executes every time. Okay, it execute every time to check the remaining to check the remaining fields on the form. Okay, so you click on advanced view to show it more clearly. Okay, so uh, this table, table is a incident. Okay, so you can choose whatever the table when you are creating the UI policy, whether it is a problem, change, or anything. There is no name field here. Okay, you have only short description. Okay, short description is like a like why you use UI policy. Okay, so you can add some information like the reason for the UI policy or something like that. Okay, here it is setting like field sets mandatory for all in the all states. What are the fields I need to set mandatory or something like that. Order is important, 10. So this order is important. So I will show you the order why it is important. Okay, the order is like lowest order runs first and the highest order run last. Okay, so yeah. So so when to apply? So when to apply is an the UI policy will run. It's like if the condition meets, then only the UI policy run. If the condition does not meet, the UI policy will not run. Okay, here there is no condition. That means it will execute every time. Okay, so the global is like under which view you need to apply. Okay, so if you have any views on the incident mobile view, portal view, or anything you want to run this UI policy, you can. Or global means all the views it will run. On load means, so for some example, if there is an if state changes to in progress only, okay, then I need to apply UI policy. It's not like when the form is loading, I need to run this. So on load, okay. If on load is also needs to run, okay, you need to apply. If if there is no need of onload script, then uncheck this one. This reduce the performance issues in the future. Okay. So reverse if false is like if the condition is execute, okay, then it makes mandatory to true. Okay, reverse if false means if the condition is false, then it makes the mandatory to false. That's it. If not, if uncheck, then the mandatory will not be go back if it changes or something like that. Okay. So how I will show in a demo in this short while. Okay. Inherit means like you can apply these UI policies, okay, to the base to the child tables also. For example, incident is a parent table. If you assume that incident is a parent table, then you want to apply this UI policy for the child tables, then you can click on inherit. Okay, you can see here the table, the text and the specified table inherit the UI policies. Okay. So, so once you save this one, then only you will see the UI policy actions. Okay, UI policy related list actions. Okay, so this related list actions you can see like whenever a related list should be shown or something like that. And this UI policy action is like the field name. Okay, it should be mandatory or visible or read only like that. Okay, so that's why we use the UI policies. Okay, all these things. Okay, so in the script part, okay, if you click on run script, okay, so if the condition is true, then what type of script? If you want to write some complex scripts or some scripts, okay, that depends upon the requirement. You can write here script, okay, and also execute if false. Okay, so this script will run. Okay, so I will show you in a few minutes how to create these things, all these things. Okay, so that's all about UI policies. Okay. So there is one thing, okay, I need to tell you that this condition, for example, if active is true, if you see, okay, so active is false, okay, or something like that. If a field changing from active to false, true to false, okay, then this UI policy will run. Only if okay, conditions are only re-evaluated if a user manually changes a field on the form. Okay, if the changes is made by the system, it is not rechecked. Okay, sometimes the fields are changed by, changed by system. Okay, so then it will not work. Okay, so at that time, you need to use data policies. So we will be covering in the upcoming sections in the data policies. Then we will get to know more about the data policies. Okay, so yes. So in the run script, I told you, right? Okay, in this one is important. Run script in the UI type is a desktop or it's like client side scripts only. Okay, so this scripting is like a client side for G underscore form or G underscore user, G underscore sketchpad. You can use it. Okay, so our local variables which are defined. Okay, you can use that one. Okay, so now let's see some demo. Okay, so now let's see some demo. Okay, a demo on the UI policies. Demo. Okay. So log into your instance. Now we will see an example of UI policy a demo. Like in the, let's open incident and open all incidents. So to configure UI policy, the simple thing, okay, configure, like right click on any field on the list, okay, and configure and go to UI policies. Or you can directly go from UI policies and okay, system UI policies. You can create any UI policies from here also. Okay, so let's configure UI policy. We will see. Okay, and let's try to create a new UI policy. Okay, so let's our requirement is like let's open a new form. Okay, new notepad. So our requirement is like so let's make a field. Okay, let's make a field read only on on resolved state. Okay, on resolved state, like urgency urgency and impact. Okay, impact should be read only on resolved or closed state. Okay, so let's see. Make fields read only when state is resolved. Okay, like this we will see. We will add. Okay, when state is resolved. Or so when we are applying UI policy, we the trigger condition, this is condition is must. Okay, if the condition is not there, then as usual it is run on every state or whenever you form the load. Okay, when you load the form or something like that. Okay, so now what we will do, state is one of resolved or closed. Okay, resolved or closed, and let's save it. Okay, let's save it. So once you create the UI policy and trigger condition, then UI policy actions will be created, like create new field. Let's select a field called urgency, whatever the fields we have, like okay, impact read only is true, and submit it. Okay, and then click on new again, and urgency you can it's alphabetical order, so you urgency read only true and submit it. Okay, now you have created, but before testing you can see here there is a red mark. That means there is a something error. Okay, let's open this one. Let's open this one. So you can see the error here. There are multiple UI policy with the same order for this field. This run order is not predictable. Make fields read only on close, on resolve. So we have two UI policies. One it is a non-resolved, one it is a non-close. Okay, so you need to adjust the order, which should run first and which should run second. Okay, but the end of the goal is like it will be the same. Okay, it will be the same result, but you have to make the order to order, like we don't have order on this form, so let's form layout. Let's do a form layout and bring the order onto the form below, or below the active. Okay, below the active, and save it, and let's Run it. Okay. So as usually the closed will be after the resolve, right? So you can make this one to 120 order. Okay. And update it. So now go and refresh this make fields read only unresolved. So then okay. So then you can see there is nothing. So when resolved, okay, when we are state is changing, let's test it. Okay, let's test it. Okay, before doing another requirement. Okay, let's test it. It is working or not. Okay, let's open incidents. Okay, let's open it and um, open it. Open any incident. Okay, now if I state changes to resolve, then impact and urgency are also becoming resolved. Okay, so in the resolution information, resolve core, resolve nodes are becoming mandatory, and also resolved by should become mandatory. Okay, so and also resolved by should become mandatory. Then what we will do is let's add a new UI action, resolved by. Okay, resolved by is mandatory. Okay, and submit it. Okay, let's go back. Go back. And let's see. So there are no error. Now go to the incident and refresh the form. Okay. So when you open the UI form and you have created something like UI policies or client scripts, then you must reload the form to apply it. Okay. Let's change it to resolved and see the resolved by is also mandatory. Okay, so now it's like you don't have see, unless you go here and you see the star. Okay, then you don't know that these fields are mandatory. Or I will do what like if in progress it is in progress, I will do resolved and I will save. Then it will pop up there resolution nodes. Okay, before save I should get some intimation that on the here. Okay, as a message that please fill like populate the resolution information fields before saving an incident in a resolved or closed state, something like that. Okay, I need to make some pop-up. So then that pop-up, how do we make it? In the same UI policy, you can use the script tab, run script. Okay, run script and yeah, it should run on all. Okay, or service portal or anywhere. Okay, then you can check if the condition is true. If the condition is true, okay, evaluate true, then this will run. Okay, then this will run like g underscore form. Okay, like g underscore form dot add info message. Okay, add info message, and only you need to trigger this info message you need to trigger if g underscore form dot get value, g to get value like maybe resolved by. Okay, resolved underscore by equal to null. If there is nothing, okay, then only you need to populate the value or something. Or okay, so close it. Add info message, comma. It's like in double quotes. Okay, populate the resolve resolution information fields before the saving an incident in a resolved state, something like this. Okay, let's save it and test it. So reopen this one, reload the reload the form, and now see there is no resolution resolved by information is field. Okay, so now I will make a resolved, so then populate the resolution information fields before saving an incident in a resolved state. Okay, you got it, the pop-up. Now refresh the form again. Okay, so now I will resolved by I will add. Okay, resolved by I will add, and then I will change the state to resolved. Okay, now that there is no pop-up. Okay, there is no pop-up. So because here you have added resolved by is empty, then only the pop-up should come. Okay, the pop-up should come, but these fields are mandatory. Okay, these fields are mandatory. Okay, so let's reload it again. Okay, reload it again. And now if I change to resolved, okay, the information is okay. And now I will add it, and I will add resolved by also. Okay, resolved by also, but still this message is getting pop up. Okay, still this message is getting pop up. This should be removed, or what we can say, like for example, if I move from in progress state in progress, okay, then the fields mandatory is removed, but still the pop-up is showing. Okay, for that what you need to do in the executive false, you need to add g underscore form dot clear messages. Okay, what all the messages appear, so it will clear when the false statement is executed. Okay, so the same thing, like let's reload the form. Okay, let's change it to resolved. Now you got the pop-up. Now let's move to in progress. The pop-up is removed. So that's it. It's so simple how to create an UI policy, how to add some script in the definitions. Okay, so like that. So now what we will see is we will see the what when like client scripts versus UI policies. Okay, so when we need to use client script, when we need to use UI policy. So of course, UI policy will run after the execution of client scripts. Okay, after the execution of execute after client scripts, UI policy will run. Okay, so let's see those differences. Okay, when we use UI policy, when we use client scripts, let's see in an Excel. Okay, yeah, let me open an Excel and let's see. Okay, so let's see. So like when to use. Okay, when to use something like this. Okay, like applicate when to use client script, and when to use UI policy. Okay, so let's define this one. Okay, in a table way. Okay, so when to use so when a form loads. Okay, when a form loads, so let's expand the forms. Okay, when to use a form loads. Okay, so you can use client scripts. Okay, you can use client script, yes, and you can also use UI policy, yes. But when to use client script and UI policy. You can use when a form loads, you can use client script, UI policies, but depends upon the complexities. If you want to write heavy scripts, then use client scripts. If you don't want, you can use UI policies also. Okay, okay, and so like you want to like execute, okay, so let's when when we execute we will write, okay, when we execute a form loads, okay, client side scripts and UI policy, and if we execute like save or submit or update, okay, okay, then you use only client script, okay, not UI policy, okay, no, UI policy is no. We cannot use UI policy at the time of save, submit, or something like that. Okay. And change of field. Okay, on change. When you execute a form field, on change of a field. Okay, on change of field. Okay, you can use a client script S, and UI policy also you can use. Okay. And if you want previous previous value of a field, okay, if you want to use a previous value of a field, okay, you have to use only client script, because in the UI policy you will not have a option to get a previous UI policies, okay, something like that. And the list fields. Okay, list fields, yes, client scripts only and no UI policy. We don't have any on list change of UI policies. Okay, so after client scripts, okay, after client scripts. So after client scripts, okay, only you can run only UI policy. Okay, if if you want to run or something like, okay, some scripting you can you have to write a script. Okay, so then use client scripts, not don't use a UI policy. Okay, something like this. You have to write it. Okay, so yeah. So let's change this no to red in color and bold. Okay. So this is a table you need to follow. Okay, it's simple. When we execute client scripts and UI policies. Okay, this is the table you need to follow. Okay, so yeah. So this you can take some screenshot and have somewhere. Okay, so for the future purpose. Okay, now we will see what are the good practices. Best practice. Um, best practice. Okay, best practices. Okay, so use a few UI policies as possible. Okay, use a few UI policies as possible. Okay, to avoid long page load runs. Okay, to avoid long page load times. Okay, use short description field, add description. Okay, set on load to false. Okay, set on load to false. if you do not need to execute on page load or something like that. Okay, set and apply conditions. Apply conditions. Apply conditions using condition builder whenever possible. Okay, and comment your script. If you have create any scripts, comment your scripts always, so that it will be best practice. Okay, so all these things are the good practices if you are using. Okay, so UI policies are used for client side form management. Okay, so the recap is like UI policies are used for client-side forms management. UI policies take action based on script under UI policy actions or something like that. Okay, UI policies can be created for the tables in the same scope. Okay, tables, UI policy. This is important. UI policies can be created for tables in a same scope. Same scope, it should be available. Okay, same scope. That is the mandatory thing. So okay, so that's all about UI policies. UI policies. Okay, and you can practice some more UI policies. Okay, so and we can get some real-time scenarios also. I will make some video of what all the examples I will do. Okay, so you can practice. Okay, real-time scenarios of UI policies, or how to use it, how to create all these things. Okay, so yeah. Okay, so yeah, and yeah, that's it. Okay, yeah, thank you all, and have a nice. Please do subscribe to get alerts for upcoming videos. Hope you will enjoy and learn service now. Thank you very much for your time.